My name is Brandon Walker, and I host the Brandon Walker College Football Show right here on YouTube. Hello. It is the day after week one has concluded. 5 straight days of football. We now know things we suspected. We now know things we didn't suspect. We now don't know things we thought might have been. There's a lot going on. Let me welcome in the YouTube chat. Hey, A-Rod and D. Jonesy, Lucas Moore, Miles Devane, Crangus McBasketball, Casey McElroy, Connor Maloney, Snooze, Matt Sean. You're all here to watch the best college football mind in America talk about college football, and I am going to give it to you. Like the stream, subscribe to the stream. Blake W., C-Rock, Joshua Gruden, Smitty, version 2.0, says Arizona's beating Mississippi State this weekend. Smitty, nobody likes you, you fucking nobody. E. Hoskins, Robert Bohm, Casey Miller, Stu, Colin, Baby Luigi, Eli Russell, Joe Mama. Welcome. And all you on the phone, 888-STOOL-22. Hey, nice to meet me. Week one is in the books, and now I give you my takes. I have written down 8 takes that I'm going to get through, and once I get through the 8 takes, we're going straight to you on the calls. The call board is full. We have 10 lines. There's 10 people on the hold. I'm going to get to all of you. 888-STOOL-22, 888-STOOL-22, and now we go. The Clemson Tigers played last night. They won 41-10. A lot of people overreacted in the first half. They thought, oh, my God, Clemson's not very good. They're fine. Their defense is elite. They played a bad team, and in the second half, they finally treated that bad team the way they should. But it can't be ignored that in the first half, Clemson's offense looked very bad, and their quarterback, DJ Uiagalelei, did not look very good. Here's the problem with that, folks. Both of those things are true. The offense didn't look good. The quarterback didn't look very good. But everybody's blaming DJ. Everybody's saying DJ doesn't have it. Everybody's saying, Dabo, when are you going to switch? When are you going to do this? When are you going to do that? Make no mistake, Clemson has an elite defense, probably the best defense in the country. They have a very good coaching staff. And their offense, led by their quarterback, isn't very good. But when people boil it down to just DJ, they kind of shorten. They miss the picture here. They miss the point. Has DJ been as good as he can be? No. Is DJ the only problem? Absolutely not. I don't know how a team that recruits in the top 10 the way Clemson does has an offensive line as weak and as slow as the one they have. They were getting housed up front by a Georgia Tech defensive line that's average at best. I don't know how a team that recruits the way Clemson does has wide receivers that don't have any weaponry outside. Where's the T. Higgins? Where's Sammy Watkins? Where's Hunter Renfrow? Where are these guys? Where's Justin Ross? They're not there anymore. Is DJ Trevor Lawrence? No. Is DJ Taj Boyd? No. But he has no weapons around him. Where's the strength up front? Where's the strength out wide? Our best running back is Will Shipley? That ain't Clemson football. That entire offense is down right now. There's a bad offensive line, no weapons at receiver, no weapons at running back, and DJ. You can blame DJ all you want, but if you put that freshman in there behind that offensive line against a good team, he's getting killed. This is a playoff caliber defense, and it's a team that will be 10-2, 11-1, 12-0 in November. But that offense has to come a long way, and it's about more than just the quarterback, I promise you. Stan Canley says, BFW, sneak in a salad every now and then. Suck my fucking dick. Suck my fucking dick. Crangus McBasketball says, Will Shipley is good, though. They had 30 carries for 140 yards last night. It was awful. Awful. Their running game is non-existent. Number 2. The LSU Tigers are in trouble. The LSU Tigers are in big trouble. And people can say, oh, yeah, it's going to take him time it's going to take Brian Kelly time to get his culture in there, get his recruits, get everything. He has to change the culture. That's fine. That's all well and good. That makes sense at 129 out of 130 places in college football. LSU, they don't change the culture. LSU's culture is what LSU's culture is. And LSU fans are never, ever, ever going to watch a mediocre product. It's why they gave Ed Orgeron $17 million to not coach 2 years after winning a national title. He got there, Brian Kelly did, with a top-flight receiver group, not the best in the country, but a good receiver group, a good defensive line group. And what does he deliver? A running quarterback who doesn't throw the ball to receivers, and all of a sudden Keyshawn Boutte doesn't want to play football anymore. There's a gigantic culture problem based on who they brought in. Brian Kelly is used to being the overseer, the dictator, the power figure. At LSU, it's about the boosters and getting the players, buddy. It's about the talent pipeline that keeps it going. That's why 3 different idiots have won 3 different national titles. Nick Saban, not an idiot, but the other 2 are. I don't think Brian Kelly fits. Brian Kelly had the best job in the country, most secure. He can win 9 to 11 games every year at Notre Dame, never a problem. If he wins 9 to 11 at LSU, they're going to be wondering, why aren't you winning 12? And if he goes 5-7 this year, it's shocking. It's crazy. But them assholes will get him out of there. They're batshit insane. 8-8 Stool 22. 8-8 Stool 22. Jeremy Lowe says this show will be canceled just like wrestling. And your mother's a whore. Number 3. Welcome back to the state of Florida. College football is better with a good state of Florida. Florida State goes on the road, and that's what they did. They went on the road and beat LSU in the Dome on Sunday night. Miami beat a bad team, but they beat them the way they're supposed to, and Miami's good. Trust me on that. And Florida has the biggest win for Florida football in a decade. They stay home, and they beat the Utah Utes at home 29-26. Came from behind to do it. They found out they have a Heisman-caliber quarterback. He did what he needed to do. Their coach has the team where they need to be. And Florida football matters again. And I'm not talking about the Gators. I'm talking about Florida State, Miami, and Florida combined matter again. Florida State's going to be 5-0 head to NC State very soon. Miami's going to be in the mix all year. And we'll see about the Florida Gators this Saturday when they play Kentucky. But that is a state we don't need to go without. College football is better when California is relevant. USC's working on that. And college football is better when the state of Florida is relevant because that's where all the talent is. That's the most talent-rich state in the country. We need those teams to be good. I love seeing the Gators, Seminoles, and Canes all good, theoretically, at the beginning of the year. 8-8 Stool 22. It can't really be overstated what that meant for Florida State. Mike Norvell was on a short list of coaches coming into the year that had to answer questions early. Scott Frost had to answer questions early. He didn't. He's going to get fired soon. Neil Brown at West Virginia had to answer questions early. He didn't. He might get fired soon. Mike Norvell, if he loses that game, is probably getting fired this year. Doesn't mean he's not going to get fired anyway later if they fall apart. But Jordan Travis is a dude. They've got dudes out wide. Their defensive line's good. And they just won in Louisiana against LSU. I don't care how shitty LSU might look. That's a big win. I love Florida State being back. Also, Iowa. Hello, Iowa. I'm talking to you real quick. I'm coming. I'm going to be inside you on Saturday. I'm going to be inside you. Might need to bring my wife so I can fuck her so somebody can score in Iowa. Because you can't do it. You can't do it. How in the world do you keep banging your head against the wall? How do you keep throwing Spencer Petras out there? Everybody in America lined up and got a transfer quarterback last year. Y'all said, no, I'm good. I like getting outscored by my defense. I like scoring 2 safeties a game. Iowa wins 70% of their games, and it feels like they're one of the worst teams in the country. I don't know how that happens. Great program. How do you watch that shit all day? How do you watch that shit every year? Can we slow down on the Notre Dame love fest? They were number 5 coming in. I thought that was a little overrated, but they deserved it. You look around, that's fine that they're number 5. But they go to Ohio State, and I know that their defense played well, and they held a prolific Ohio State offense in check, and that's fantastic. That's great. That's awesome. Notre Dame has a top 15 defense, and will be good all year. Are we just going to ignore the fact that their offense made Ohio State's defense look like the 85 Bears? Notre Dame got to 10 points and then just quit. They just couldn't figure out how to score. Quarterback couldn't throw it. Running backs couldn't run it. Nothing. Ohio State's a good football team, but their defense isn't very good. They made them look incredible. Is that not something we're going to be concerned about? I mean, this isn't last year's Notre Dame schedule where they can go 11-1 and beat nobody. They got to play Clemson's defense later. They got to outscore USC later. They got to outscore BYU later. I think they're in trouble. I think they're an 8-4 team. But then again, I'm the best college football mind in America. I see these things. 888 Stool 22. TJ.
Brandon, how good does it feel to be a fan of an undefeated football team?
Feels really good, TJ. Feels really good to be 1-0. It's going to feel better on Saturday to be 2-0. But you went up to Boston College and got you a win.
I did. For anyone that didn't see, I took did 400 miles in over 20 hours to go up to Boston and back in one day. Little business trip. Saw the boys take home a gritty W in Chestnut Hill.
Gold Robber says, Brandon, Florida is number 12 in the country. I think they should be higher. What do you think? I think you're out of your fucking mind. I think they beat Utah at home, and that's great. That's fantastic. Going from unranked to number 12, I mean, let's take it one step at a time. This Saturday tells you a lot more about Florida than last Saturday. It was an opener. It was against a team that had to come across the country, a team that's pretty good but probably lost more than you think. If they beat Kentucky at home, I'm all the way in on Florida, especially if Anthony Richardson's good. But just hold on. 888 Stool 22. I got one more take, and then I'm going to get to you guys on the phone calls. One more take. TJ, I asked you for a picture about Kirby Smart and his get-back coach. I'd like to see that. When I'm watching college football is unique, and college football is great. College football also has this thing about coach worship and stuff. Fans will suck the dick of a coach. Fans will worship a coach. They'll form a cult around a coach, but that's fine. You realize there's a grown-ass man who probably gets paid six figures to have his hand in Kirby Smart's butthole every Saturday? Anybody ever stop to wonder how stupid this is? Is Kirby Smart just the biggest idiot in the world? And I know other teams have get-back coaches. I know other teams have coaches that are their job is to make sure the coach doesn't go crazy. This guy stands with his finger up his butthole every day. You're a grown man, sir. I assume you graduated from college. What are you doing with your hand up another man's ass for 3 hours for? Sweaty ass. Walking around coaching, yelling. Kirby Smart doesn't know the difference between white grass and green grass? Look down. If it's white, I'm good. If it's green, probably should back up. What? Why does this exist? And I know this isn't new, but I saw it. I was watching it on Saturday, and Kirby Smart he's up 42-3, and he's out at the 5-yard line yelling and dancing. And somebody's grabbing his asshole and bringing it back. Kirby, you're a grown fucking man. Jesus Christ, whoever that coach is that what you dreamed of being in your life? What are you going to be? An astronaut. What are you going to be? I'm going to have my hand up Kirby Smart's ass. What? This is where we are in life. Stop with the get-back coach nonsense. Kirby, maybe don't be an asshole. Maybe just act right. 888 Stool 22. 888 Stool 22. 888 Stool 22. We got Caden and Jesse and Elijah and Bubs and Joe and Rob and Dick. Dick in Dallas. Dick in Dallas might go first. I like his subject. But he doesn't go first. And I'll probably give a take very, very soon. We'll go with Bubs first. Bubs is our longtime GOAT, and he goes first. Bubs in Iowa. Go ahead.
Brandon, Bubs with Tub Club. Sorry about last week. Had to take a week off, but glad to see you back. Glad to see you on YouTube.
Thank you very much. What's up?
For today, real quick. What FBS coach has the record for most bowl losses with 13 in their career? All at one school, too.
Bill Snyder.
It would be Lavelle Edwards at BYU.
That was close. I got my octogenarian white guys confused. Go ahead, Bubs.
All right. So, hey, my question is, what is What is Dabo Swinney thinking putting in Klubnik for that last drive last night when he goes and tears it up, because if you remember in 2017, 2018, can't remember when, after Kelly Bryant takes him to the playoff the year before, mid-season he makes a switch. You know, Klubnik, the fan base probably didn't like DJ U too much. Then they saw what Klubnik did on one drive, and I'm just trying to think, you know, is he looking for a repeat? You know the fan base is going to come after him for it. Want to get your thoughts.
Here's the thing, Bubs. If you remember, it was 2018. They switched to Trevor Lawrence, and you know what happened?
They did pretty damn well, I'd say.
Didn't do pretty damn well. They won the national title and beat Alabama by 28 in the title game. This, you know, Cade Klubnik is not Trevor Lawrence. He's a once-in-a-lifetime guy. But I think Dabo knows at some point, whether it's DJ stinking or it's injury or something, it's best to have this guy ready to go. And if it creates a conversation, whatever, I'll deal with that later. I got to make sure he's ready. I got to see what he's got. I got to put him out here. Yeah, I'm going to get into a spot. Remember, DJ 2 years ago was behind Trevor. DJ started 2 games. Got him to help get him to the playoff. So you got to have the guy ready. If it creates a conversation with your fan base, whatever, deal with that later. But listen, I think you know it. I know it. Everybody knows it. Cade Klubnik will probably start important games for Clemson because of DJ's performance later on this year. But again, everybody focused on DJ. If you're doing it with the same offensive line, the same running backs, the same receivers, I'm not sure Clemson goes very far because they're just not elite at any of those positions.
Brandon, appreciate your time as always. Have a good day.
See you Saturday?
I'll shoot you a message. Yes, sir.
All right. 888-STOOL-22. 888-STOOL-22. Where did we go down to Dallas? That's where Dick is in Dallas. Hello, Dick.
Hey, what's up? Are you familiar with Blue Delta blue jeans?
I own multiple pair of Blue Delta blue jeans. They're my favorite pair of pants.
So, they have some quotes from some relatively famous people down at the bottom of the website. I was looking on the website, and I noticed Ben Mintz has a quote on there, and I'll read it to you, and I want to hear your thoughts on it. He says, "I love the people, the quality, and the jeans. Yet another thing that makes me proud to be from Mississippi."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There's only one problem with that, Dick. Ben Mintz, who has ridden his Mississippi ties to popularity here at Barstool, he's just riding my wake. That's what he's doing. He sees me as the king of the South, and he says, "Oh, I got to get me some of that clout." He's not from Mississippi. He has never been from Mississippi. He is from the state of Louisiana, which is fine, but that quote is, in fact, a lie.
Okay, gotcha.
You okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was a weird reaction by you. You getting your dick sucked right now or something?
What's that?
Nothing. 888-STOOL-22. 888-STOOL-20. I don't know, man. I don't know. Let me see that. Ben Mintz, what? That's on their website? I need to make that bigger. Play with it a while, make it bigger. Lost some weight and realized that. Okay, that's just pictures. That's just okay. Lost some weight and realized I've been cheating myself with the kind of jeans I wore. Upgraded to Blue Delta jeans. There's no going back ever. I love the people, the quality, and the jeans. Yet another thing that makes me proud to be. I will. I will never wear that jean company again. I will never in my life wear that. They've sent me some high-quality pants. Oh, they got the best pants. I love their pants. Incredible pants. Until they fix this, I will never wear Blue Delta again. Mississippi sports expert, kiss my ass.
I'd be remiss as a producer to not show you who the next quote is from.
Please show me. Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott. All right. I'd love to give him a quote. I'll give you a quote. Your pants are great. Mississippi sports expert Ben Mintz, kiss my ass. 888-STOOL-22. 888-STOOL-22. Line, I can't. Jesse's going to have to wait. I can't do that to the people. Elijah from Auburn, go ahead.
Hey, Brandon. Hope you're having a great day. Want to talk about two things. Is this the year that, quote-unquote, back? I think Florida State is really good. Miami's really good. Texas and USC are both really good. Nebraska may be the one that's not good or back, but everyone else seems to be back.
All right, so let's add on to that. Florida State, we'll see, but let's just say they're back right now. Florida potentially back. Miami potentially back. Tennessee potentially back. USC potentially back. Texas potentially back. This could be the year of back. You're right. Now Nebraska sucks. They're garbage. But for every one of those teams to be back, we have to have some teams come off the board. So who's coming off the board? LSU looks like they might be coming off the board a little bit. This is going on the third year. They're not very good. Notre Dame, perhaps? Oklahoma, perhaps? Who's coming off the board for these teams to get back?
I maybe Clemson.
Clemson, another one. Absolutely. They are ripe for the picking. I certainly didn't see a team last night that's going to roll through the ACC unmolested, so that's a good question. Now, all these teams aren't back. Like, some of these teams are going to be fake. Like, Florida could be fake. I don't think they are. Florida State could be fake. I lean more towards them being fake than Florida. Miami, that's just a belief on mine. And Texas, we'll see. And USC, like, these teams got to prove it. Somebody's going to be not as good as we think. Thank you very much, Elijah from Auburn. Whew. 888 Stool 22. Golden Leprechaun says Mississippi State isn't back. Nobody mentioned Mississippi State. Nobody. You did. That's in your mind. 888 Stool 22. We go to Joe in Florida. Go, Joe.
Hey, Brandon. Was in the swamp Saturday night. Utah got a little lucky with the weather. It wasn't as humid. It wasn't as hot. But the swamp reminded me of one of them old-time – the atmosphere reminded me of one of them old-time games when Florida was playing Auburn before they stole that game from us. But my question is, with the Florida State-LSU game, if the game was in Baton Rouge, and Ben Mintz is lucky the game wasn't in Baton Rouge because somebody would have cold-cocked him for doing what he did in the Superdome. I think he got real lucky.
Yeah.
But would that have made a big difference? It would have got them over the edge. I still think they're a horrible football team. They need to get their shit together.
No, I really don't think it would have helped a lot. Is playing in Baton Rouge going to make your receivers engaged? Is it going to make Keyshawn Butte want to actually play? Is playing in Baton Rouge going to make your quarterback be able to throw the ball? If they had lost a close game in a fluky situation, I would give them a pass. But the only fluky part of that game was the fact they only lost by one. Florida State controlled that game from the start. They controlled it. There were 2 turnovers by punt that they didn't score off of. Florida State was probably 2 or 3 touchdowns better than LSU. It just came down to the very end. So I don't think anything's happening in Tiger Stadium to make it closer than what happened in New Orleans. And Tiger Stadium and New Orleans, same fucking place. I mean, the Superdome is a home stadium for LSU. It just is. I know there were a lot of Florida State fans still home for LSU. No, I don't think playing in Tiger Stadium changes that. I think Florida State beat them a hell of a lot better, more than 1 point, and LSU got lucky to make it just a 1-point game. Thank you. 888 Stool 22. Dana's fat. See how fat Dana was? I had a salad for lunch today. Answers your question. My beard's coming in again. My beard's looking good. How you guys doing? Brandon, what are your thoughts on Syracuse? Syracuse surprised me. They beat Louisville 31-7. I thought Louisville was live this year. I thought Malik Cunningham, their coach, is kind of coaching for his job, and Syracuse beat the piss out of them. Syracuse looked good. ACC is interesting, man. ACC might be the most interesting conference from top to bottom. They got a lot of moving parts there, man.
Sam Hartman back to activities.
Sam Hartman back. He should be back on Saturday. 888 Stool 22. I'll give you my early leans tomorrow. Brando, what are you looking forward to in Iowa? All the white people. That's all they got, right? 888 Stool 22. 888 Stool 22. I hate Iowa.
How excited are you about the college football live show schedule release?
We got 9 games this year, buddy. 9 games. Jesus Christ. Iowa State at Iowa. Then we're going to Tennessee week 4. I want to go to Block and Barrel again. Stock and Barrel? Stock and Barrel. Or Block and Barrel. Great burgers. Friday, October 7th in Piscataway, Nebraska Rutgers. Potentially 5-0 Rutgers?
I'm not going to be the one that says that publicly, but
Ole Miss at LSU. Be a bunch of douchebags at that game. And then look at October 29th. That's 2 games, folks. 2 games. 2 games. 2 games. 888 Stool 22. Is Dave Chappelle from Iowa? No, I thought he was from Ohio. No, he's from Washington, D.C., isn't he? Who are famous Iowans? Seth Rollins? Give me some. Can I Google me famous Iowans, please? Google me some famous Iowans. I know Seth Rollins. All right. Ashton Kutcher. John Wayne. John Wayne, by the way, one of the biggest posers in the history of the world. Draft dodger. Did a bunch of war movies. He was a draft dodger. Elijah Wood. Hill Harper. I don't know who Gene Seberg is. Sean Johnson. I think that's the gymnast. I don't know who Chris Soules is. I don't know who Halston is. Laura Flynn Boyle.
Is it crazy to say Trent should be on this list?
Yeah, that's crazy. that's pretty crazy. 888 Stool 22. 888 Stool 22. Go Nine says terrible show, and Go Nine's a fucking idiot Cajun who is lost because this is a college football show. We ain't talking about your punk ass team this year. Y'all suck. 888 Stool 22. Kurt Warner, yes, he's from Iowa. He's from Iowa. How do you feel about Arkansas coming to your house at 5-0 after taking down Bama? Sam Berry, thank you for the comment. I was glad an Arkansas fan spoke up. If you watched Arkansas the other day and think they're going to go 5-0 against anybody, you're a fucking hillbilly Arkansas fan, or you're just dumb. KJ Jefferson ain't it, man. He ain't. Without Treylon Burks, he ain't it. Alabama's killing you. A&M's killing you. We're beating you. Arkansas, Cincinnati went in there without a quarterback and almost won. If he makes half those throws, Arkansas loses by 2 touchdowns. Arkansas is not very good. 888 Stool 22. We go to line 7. That's where Rob is in Boca, which sounds like a beautiful place. Hello, Rob.
Hey, Brandon, how we doing?
Hey, what's up?
So, for 2 takes, or 3. First, the Canes are going to be very good. Very, very good. They're very sound. Second one is, what the hell do we do with Pitt? So just looking at their schedule, let's say they beat Tennessee this week. They're going to be favored pretty substantially the rest of the way. I'm not saying they're good, but if they run the table, that leads them on a crash course coming down to South Florida at the end of November.
Can you pull up Pitt's schedule for me? Here's the thing, and you just gave me a hypothetical that I don't think it's even worth talking about. You said if Pitt beats Tennessee this weekend, everything lines up for them. I don't think Pitt can beat Tennessee this week. Pitt made West Virginia's offense look very, very good. Tennessee's offense is going to look like a fucking NFL team. I think Tennessee's walking in there and hanging 50.
Oh, I agree. I think Tennessee beats them, but it is in Pittsburgh, and anything can happen. It's on a five-point spread. If that happens, let's just play that hypothetical. They avoid Clemson, I believe, NC State, Florida State, and the last game of the year is in Miami.
No, you're right. They don't really have much meat on the bone as far as their ACC schedule. You're talking Georgia Tech, Virginia Tech, Louisville, UNC. Again, with that defense, though, I think they go to UNC and get beat. Syracuse. Yeah, it's an easy schedule. It's an easy schedule. If that were to happen and they go down to Miami, I think Miami beats them by 3 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns. I don't think Pitt's very good. I don't have much respect for Pitt. I don't like Narduzzi. I think they got lucky as fuck the other night because they played a pussy head coach. Thank you very much. 888 Stool 22. Johnny Carson was not from Iowa, Curtis Manlow. He was born in Norfolk, Nebraska. Dumbasses. 888 Stool 22. Line 2. I guess you can't do. All right, guys. Jesse's going to call, and Jesse wants to talk wrestling. And I used to have a wrestling show, and we're going to let Jesse. Jesse gets to talk about whatever Jesse wants to talk about. That's the rule here on the show. So go ahead, Jesse.
Hi, Brandon. You doing okay today?
I'm doing great. What's up?
Okay, so how about all the craziness in AEW today? I mean, I don't know. At this point, the only, like I said, I'm Team Punk, so I would prefer them to just, fire the Elite and, suspend Punk, let him keep the belt for like maybe 2 or 3 months, having him cool off and then bring him back to do the feud with MJF. But the Elite have to go. I mean, they actually stormed into his locker room, for Christ's sakes, and
Jesse. I know you hate the Elite. But CM Punk got on a live mic and called everybody idiots and said, "Fuck all these guys." You can't do that.
Well, the Elite have been leaking crap about him to their journalists, so it's kind of fair play. Plus, it seems like the Elite, they seem to think they go around like acting like their crap don't stink, and I think what it probably escalated is they never expected anyone to actually stand up to them and call them out in public. And like I said, if they hadn't been doing all this stuff, there would be an issue. I mean, you would think they would be able to coexist with the companies, since they were where there are the different fivesomes in AEW, but no.
Okay.
And
here's the thing, Jesse. Here's the thing. Punk's an asshole. I don't think he's right. The Elite might be assholes too. But what AEW needs to do to solve all their problems, and I'm going to let you go, MJF needs to have the belt. He needs to have it now. That's the best young star in wrestling. Build around him, build around him, build around him, build around him. He's the best. 888 Stool 22. All right. Caden in Fort Worth, go.
Hey, Brandon. Hope you had a great opening weekend. I know your gambling weekend wasn't really the way you wanted it to be, but I just wanted to take a moment to give you credit where credit is due. Just from listening to this show the last, several weeks, months, whatever it is,
yeah.
I put in a 14 parlay, Arkansas -6, Georgia -17.5, West Virginia +7.5, and of course took the TCU Horned Frogs -13 just because I'm a homer. Of course, all 4 of those hit. Yep. Cashed a nice little one opening week because of the Brandon Walker. So I just wanted to make that known.
Thank you.
I wanted to get your take. There's some sneaky good games in week 2. Between some of the more under the radar games, obviously everyone's got their eye on Bama and Texas and some of these other games. I'm really looking forward to like Houston and Texas,
Texas Tech,
Tennessee and Pittsburgh, which you already talked about. Even App State and Texas A&M. Out of those 3 games, which do you think underdog has the best chance to cover the spread and maybe even potentially pull out an upset? Thank you so much, Brandon. I'll hang up and listen. Have a great rest of your day.
I love Texas Tech against Houston, and I can't remember which one of those is a 3-point favorite. I also love, and they're not an underdog either, I love BYU to beat the piss out of Baylor. And as far as underdog, it would be hard not to go. It'd be hard to go against Kentucky. Kentucky with a decent quarterback, Kentucky with a great roster, Kentucky who's been there. They go into a Florida team who's just coming off the biggest win in recent school history. 4.5 points for a Kentucky team who's probably better. I like Kentucky if I'm picking an underdog. Thank you very much. 888 Stool 22. 888 Stool 22. We go to line 8. That's where Chris is in Iowa City. Go ahead, Chris.
Hey, Brandon, you looking forward to your trip over here in a couple of days?
Yeah, I am. I've never been to Iowa City. I've been to Iowa, but never Iowa City. I heard it's one of the gems of the Big Ten. Last time I heard that, we went to Bloomington last year. I'm like, can't be that good, and it was incredible. So we'll see what Iowa City has to offer this week.
Awesome. Well, I was going to ask you if time has healed your relationship with Iowa fans, but I think you alluded to it hasn't really done that. So follow-up question would be, are you going to pull David Portnoy when he was in East Lansing and come in, give the double bird to Iowa fans, or are you going to come in a little bit more chill?
I'm not Dave Portnoy, and I can't pretend to be Dave Portnoy. I can only be Brandon Walker. I can only do what Brandon Walker's going to do. I have a feeling I know what I'm going to do on Saturday. Midwest Nice is a thing. Iowa fans have been in my DMs. I think I'm going to go in there. I'm going to do my thing. Hopefully they're going to do their thing, and we're going to treat each other with respect. We're going to treat each other with human decency, and we'll go from there. I think it'll be a good time this Saturday.
Good. Well, you got nothing but respect for me, and best of luck. I'm excited to see you here.
Thank you very much. Also, if that guy thinks I'm telling him my plans for what I'm doing when I get on that stage, I'm just going to say I've been watching pro wrestling for a long time. A long time. Oh, I would switch cameras on that. 888 Stool 22.
We got to figure out what we're going to do for the Rutgers show if you want to make a splash at that.
Has B-Walk spoken about FSU yet? Thoughts, Brandon? Yes, get here early, Safe Moon Dog. All right? I'm not going to sit here and talk about Florida State every time you show up. Florida State was impressive. They're going to be 5-0 headed to NC State. I like Florida State being back. When BFW goes to Iowa, there will be a baby boom in 9 months. I'm not doing anything with those corn-fed. All right, line 3. No, beautiful women out there. Beautiful women. But if a bird flies in the room, they all point. Okay, all right, 888 Stool 22. 888 Stool 22. We'll go to Ryan in Columbia. Go.
B-Walk, what's up, man? I know I called you the first time. Try to get you to take a take on the FSU, LSU. You nudged me, but that's okay. I wasn't heartbroken after all, although I was close. What a disaster. I mean, Florida State controlled the whole game. And honestly, I know you hate on Mike Norvell, Group of 5 coach. I agree with you at first. But what a hell of a game he called. I mean, that's by far his best coaching outcome as far as I'm concerned, other than him laying back low with a 2-touchdown lead. We barely survived, but we did make every play count. And I'm going to tell you, I agree. 5-0 is on the table. I will say, looking at the Knowles history, if we go at Louisville with the break we got, we win that game, I'm with you. There's no telling where we can go.
Well, here's my problem. You said I've been hating on Mike Norvell. When the fuck have I hated on Mike Norvell?
Well, I mean, I think that you just said that, he's, I don't think he bought in him. You kind of linked him into the Scott Frost group, but,
Has anybody bought into him?
But say again?
Has anybody bought into him? Okay.
I'm not sure.
Be ready for a back and forth if you're going to call. 888 Stool 22. We move to line 4. That's where Tommy is in Athens, which is Georgia, I think. Go ahead, Tommy.
Yes, it's Georgia always. Just there's a couple other Athens. Want to know my SEC parlay of the year. I had the Booger Eating Gators. I had the Hogs on a good streak. I'm gonna call you in a couple more days, get another one going. But that man that's holding back Kirby is paid very, very well. You are correct. Hit the nail on the head. That's Coach Sinclair of the national champion Georgia Bulldogs, Brandon Walker.
Yeah, that's great. Would you, Tommy, if I paid you $800,000 a year, would you stick your hand in my butthole for 3 hours every Saturday?
Yeah, I think you do that to me too. I clean up pretty good down there, Brandon. But
that's fine. Does Kirby need somebody with his hand in his ass all day?
Have you? I mean, I know you've watched Georgia play a few times. He gets a little animated on the sidelines, and like Little League all the way through up. These young kids, they need somebody to tell them to get the F back.
That guy's not telling the kids to get back. He's got his hand in Kirby's ass.
I understand. I get your point, but I know who he is. You know who he is. But Brandon, we got something bigger to talk about, sir. It's your voice, and I saw you today on Pick Central during work, and you got mad at those New York fucks, is whatever you called them today, and you wasted your energy and your precious college football voice on the Yankees, the New York Yankees. Yeah. Just take a deep breath. Let's move on from that. Save it for the real thing that matters, like football and wrestling, stuff that's fun to watch. You know what I mean?
Thank you very much, Tommy. You're right. You're right. I got mad at those New York Yankee bitches, as I called them. I was telling them that Aaron Judge is going to win the MVP, and then they were arguing that Aaron Judge is going to win the MVP. It was one of the dumbest things that ever happened to me in my life. You're right. I shouldn't waste my energy on stuff so inconsequential as baseball.
We all do it. But you know what also is a waste of energy is these people who broadcast these games nowadays, Brandon. They are the ones that influence college football, and it breaks my fucking heart that these people are the general public. I'm not talking about people like Brandon Walker. I'm not talking to people that study this and live this and breathe by this. I'm talking about the general public and these fat-ass sports writers that still get the vote on the Heisman and such.
Yeah.
But these people, the play-by-play and the color guys on these games, they dictate what the public hears.
Yeah.
So I've heard it for 3 years now. Georgia has no offense, Brandon. Georgia has no offense. Horseshit. Who has a good offense in the SEC this year? Everybody says Tennessee. But did you know that Georgia scored 37 points? Tennessee averaged 37 points last year?
Well, now, wait. You're right. Georgia has a good offense, especially this year. That offense looks elite. I didn't think it would, but, boy, it looks elite. But, I mean, Georgia also, I'm sure their defense contributed to their high point-per-game average last year.
Well, and that's why they're elite, and they have a good offense. They don't turn the ball over, Brandon. And we got the athletes. See, these guys that cover these games, Brandon, they don't cover college recruiting. They don't understand the absolute studs we get in, like Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State. That's who it is.
Okay, all right, Tommy. Let me stop you. Georgia's elite. Georgia looks great. Kirby has built his own Alabama. I just can't. I can't listen to you. Yeah, you're fucking good. You're fucking good. God damn it, you're good. Fuck. What do you want me to say? You're good.
I'm tired of these people, not just Georgia, just in college football in general, calling these games and speaking their mind about shit they don't know. In the summertime, they're calling a softball game with Beth Mowens drinking a Pepsi in the summertime. And then the color guy, he's over there with his family at the beach because he's retired from college football.
Tommy, why do you hate Pepsi so much?
Excuse me?
Why do you hate Pepsi so much?
I don't hate Tennessee so much. I think they're the second best team in the East.
No. Okay. Ain't that the same guy that called last week and accused me of drinking a Pepsi?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Pepsi's come up twice. Line 5. Colin in Dallas, go.
Hey, Brandon. Before I get to my Texas Tech point, did we get you those shorts sent to you again finally?
Buddy. Can we get a zoom in, please?
All right.
Huh?
Best shorts out there.
Oh my God. I don't know. I know most teams want to be Nike and want to be Adidas. Texas Tech is Under Armour, and they got the best shorts in the game. They sent me 2 pair last week. I will wear these every fucking day. That's how comfortable they are. Continue.
Yeah, so just quickly, is there anything worse than just building up all season? You get to week 1, you're excited. I know our backup quarterback looked great because he played last year, but it was Murray State, and our starting quarterback goes down and doesn't even make it through a quarter. Like, there's just nothing worse.
Not much, but I still think you guys are okay. And it's not like you did have a quarterback battle, right? Your backup's not bad. So, and your starter's not out for, what's he out for, like 2 or 3 weeks? Like, I think you'll be fine.
Yeah, true. I think
it does suck. You're right. You wait all summer. Like, think of the guy for LSU, the defensive lineman. You wait all summer for this, and then he gets hurt in like the 5th play of the game, jumping up to celebrate somebody else's tackle. Like, sometimes week 1 is cruel and it sucks. 8-8, Stool 22. Line 10, TD in Arizona. Go ahead, TD.
Brandon Walker, you already know why I'm calling. I called you about 6 to 8 months ago, letting you know about U of A football and the Jedfish train. Not sure if you tuned in or not, but U of A absolutely dominated that whole FCSU football game. We got Jason County, the transfer from UTEP, has 1,000 yards at UTEP. Who was throwing him the ball? Absolutely nobody. He walked into San Diego State and put on a show. 8 receptions for 152 and 3 touchdowns. Come on, B-Walk. I told you. I invited you down to the game.
Yay, Arizona won a game.
Yeah, no worries. But I invited you down to this game. Mississippi State, U of A, you hopped on the Jedfish train. You were fired up. I want to hear your thoughts about this week, boss.
I would feel a lot better if Arizona had lost 38-20 instead of winning 38-20. I hate this game. I don't want it on the schedule. I think we might lose. I'm scared to death.
All right, good. Are you going to be coming down or no?
Oh, God, no. Fuck no.
Yeah, you can't handle down Tucson Dirty Feet. Well, appreciate B-Walk for answering the call.
I can't handle middle of New Jersey in the heat. Think I'm going to be handling fucking Tucson? Line 9. It's Angelo in California. Go.
What do you think about the prospect of DJ going to Oregon, and do you think teams can fall into that recruiting process of just getting hired guns and not getting homegrown talent at quarterback?
I don't know that I've ever thought about anything less than the thought of DJ Uiagalelei to Oregon. DJ is just, I don't know if he doesn't have it or if it's just Clemson is so bad offensively that he's never going to show it. But I certainly don't look at Oregon and think, man, DJ would fix this. Oregon's got some problems, buddy. Some fucking problems. I don't know what's going on out there. 8-8, Stool 22. Line 6. Jared in Louisville. Go ahead, Jared.
Hey, Brandon, I was wondering who you think the worst team in the SEC is outside of Vanderbilt, because all these teams really, really seem to be solid this year. I mean, you can make an argument for several of them.
Well, there's not a bad team in the West. LSU is probably the worst team in the West. I don't think they're a bad football team by any stretch of the imagination. So I would say they're the worst in the West. And outside of Vandy in the East, I think it has to be Missouri by default. Like, although Carolina didn't look great the other night, but Florida looks better, Tennessee looks better, Kentucky's fine, Georgia's good. It's got to be Missouri if it's not Vanderbilt, right?
Yeah, probably Missouri. But, I mean, Auburn doesn't look like they're going to be great this year. South Carolina, you're right. Yeah, probably Missouri.
All right, thank you very much. 888 Stool 22. Let's go quickly. I want to get as many calls as possible. Thomas in Chicago, go.
Hey, Brandon. Obviously, Saturday was not fun. It was a kick in the dick and balls.
Thomas is an Oregon fan.
Have you ever watched a game and you have nothing to say and you just sit there in silence?
Yeah, only about, as a Mississippi State fan, only about 6 times a year.
Yes. It's like I just wanted my team just to, like, at least try. And you know what's terrible is that the drive started out well, and then what do you know? Bo Nix just ends it on a pick. And then obviously there's the whole video of, like, the offense coordinator, just his face falling in his hands after he threw the second interception directly to the defense.
You know, everybody talks about Georgia and how good they looked, but Oregon was pretty shocking, weren't they? Like,
yeah.
What's supposed to be the strength of Oregon? Because it ain't quarterback, it ain't running back, it ain't defense, it ain't. What did I find anything I could take from Oregon and say, oh, well, this is going to be okay?
Yeah, and then it was one of those games where you just, like, you couldn't, like, there was nothing you could say, like, anything positive. Now obviously it's a different offense. Offense looks better than last year, but it's like we need, like, Dan Lanning. It's like no adjustments at all. It was so frustrating. And then then the whole Mincy video, doesn't the whole Mincy in the aisle screaming about LSU loss, doesn't it give you vibes of Chris Farley playing as Tom Arnold in SNL skit of, like, him on the couch, like, all coked up and shit like that?
No, because Chris Farley was funny. 888 Stool 22, 888 Stool 22. TJ, we won't do it tonight, but with nothing behind us, there's nothing stopping us from going to, like, 7:15 one night, right?
In theory, correct, but the control room, I'm sure, would like to know that ahead of the 10 minutes before it happens.
Who cares about control room?
They could just turn the show off if they wanted to. So you should care about the control room.
Which control room I got today? Which guy I got? Let me see the camera again. Who's over there?
Big Steve.
Oh, okay. It's not even one of the good ones.
He's all right.
Actually, I would rank Steve. You're top 3. Top 3.
He operates in silence.
Still behind Colby somehow.
Yeah.
Who hasn't worked here in a year. 888 Stool 22. God damn it, I missed that motherfucker. Robert in North Carolina, go.
Hey.
Couple things, Brandon. You said in Hate Week, you had some tough things to say about the NC State Wolfpack fans. Thought we had a little coming together when those lib cucks stole our boys a chance to play for a national title in baseball. Secondly, Dave Doran. What are your thoughts on him? I think if he doesn't get a lucky win at the end of the season last year versus UNC, he probably didn't have a job. Now, one win changed everything. I think he's a bad coach. Let me get your thoughts.
Well, I have never been more right on anything than I was about NC State and ECU to start the season. I said for 2 months NC State's walking into a buzzsaw and stupid. Then I woke up Saturday morning and I bet NC State like an idiot. I knew it, but I think this is a game you can flush and be fine. You say Dave Doran wouldn't have a job. Listen, they have a top-flight quarterback, a top-flight roster. Worst-case scenario for them this year is like 9-3, and that's certainly not a record that gets a coach fired at NC State. 888 Stool 22. We got sex bots in the chat.
Look at that's a different sex bot than normal.
We got sex bots in the chat.
Usually it just says, like, leave now, watch stream. This one says only Putin didn't find girl with us.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty good, I guess.
We got sex bots in the chat. Travis in Orange County, go ahead.
Hey, Brandon, big fan. I was just wondering if you thought possibly the return of NCAA football was going to bring back kind of the care for the random guys. I remember you did a segment last year on unnecessary roughness, like naming random players, Joey Hamilton, Maurice Morris, all these kind of random guys that you knew had no chance in the league, but were so fun to watch and you loved playing with them.
Yeah. Omar Jacobs at Bowling Green, Joe Webb, stuff like that. I think the NCAA games give you a connection to college football, especially back then when you had to manually go in and change every roster, and you had to print out the rosters, and you had to learn players' names and put them in. That's a connection we don't really have anymore. Now, I don't have faith in EA to not fuck this up, but maybe if they call me, I can tell them how to do it. 888-STOOL-22. We'll go to line 8. Maybe Mark in Philly has one for me. Mark in Philly, go.
D-Walk, my guy, the Utah-Florida overcashed with a fumble and a pick on the goal line, mind you. When Mark in Philly and BFW are aligned, watch the fuck out. Happy you could get out to a 1-0 start on the college football show against President Cat. And that's why I was also happy to hear you just say that you like BYU against Baylor. I called in last week and asked you to sell me on BYU and sell me on them. You did. I bet them against USF, watched the game, and I've seen enough. Jaron Hall's legit. The running game is good. BYU is going to be a contender this year. They're going to beat Baylor. Bet them minus whatever the number ends up at, honestly. And after watching the offenses of Oregon, Notre Dame, and Arkansas last week, who are all on their schedule, I think they're shaping up to be in the conversation, like you said.
Their schedule is perfect. They play a bunch of overrated teams.
It's absolutely perfect. And as a Notre Dame fan, I can't tell you that I'm feeling good about that game at all.
You got a pick for me this week?
That's what I'm saying. I like BYU a lot. That would be the number one thing that popped out at me. I would take a look at Virginia +5 against Illinois. I think anyone who watched that Illinois-Indiana game last week, I think it'd be hard to lay 5 points against Virginia, who at least does have a legitimate quarterback. So that's definitely one of the other games that's popping out to me. But BYU is probably my favorite on the board.
Mine too, frankly. Thank you very much. 888-STOOL-22. Got about 8 minutes. I've got Nick in Colorado. I got a 201. I got John in New York, Trent in Oregon, 360, Parker in St. Louis, and Alec in Florida. And I want to get every single fucking one of you. So hopefully we can go fast. Everybody just hit me quickly. Nick in Colorado, go.
Hey, Brandon. I'm a Colorado State fan. I have no skin in the game, but I have a bunch of Nebraska fans, and every single one of them still vehemently defends the Bo Pelini firing. And I was just wondering if you could help make sense of that. Is that just illusion? Thanks for taking the question. I'll hang up.
Because fans are stupid. Fans are stupid. Fans will decide something and then defend it to the death. Tennessee fans today will still tell you they're right for throwing Schiano out with the bathwater a couple of years ago. They made up this shit about him being a bad person to make themselves feel better, and they will today defend it even though they hired Jeremy Pruitt, a much worse human being, and he sucked as a football coach. And Nebraska fans are the same way. They have sucked dick since Bo Pelini left, but because they thought they should fire him then, they will never say it wasn't right, and they know it's not. And today's Stool 22. Again, I want to tell you, we're going to try to go fast. Give me energy. I was like, hey, everybody, let's go fast. Hey, Brandon, what's up, man? Love the guy, but let's go. We go to line 5. John in New York, go.
What's up, Brandon? First of all, I want to just say thanks for unblocking me. I appreciate that.
Yep.
Then I want to just say Brian Kelly had the most career losses in Notre Dame history. What made him think that he was going to be some hero at LSU? He just can't win a game in the SEC. I don't see it working. I want to know your thoughts on that.
Well, he certainly lost every major game he ever had at Notre Dame. Brian Kelly had the safest job in the country. He could win 9-11 every year and never get any heat at Notre Dame. And he gave it up to go to LSU, a place that is crazier than anybody in the country. If he doesn't win 10 every year, he's fired within 3 years. It's going to be an interesting experiment, and that's what it is. He looked fucking lost like a puppy dog the other day, and Notre Dame looks like they might be better off without him. Brian Kelly's interesting, and very good chance he killed a kid. 888-STOOL-22. Line 9, Parker in St. Louis. Parker in St. Louis, go.
Hey, Brandon. Speaking of Notre Dame, what do you think the win-loss record will be at the end of the season? And do you think there's any chance of us making the playoffs?
No, I don't think your offense is good enough to make the playoff. Doesn't mean I don't think Notre Dame's good. I just don't think your quarterback and running back and I don't think your offense is good enough. You made Ohio State's defense look a lot better than they really are, and your schedule is tremendously tough. Everybody always shits on Notre Dame for their schedule. This schedule is tough, and most teams would falter with this schedule. You got Clemson at home. Maybe you win that, maybe you don't, but I don't see you scoring very many points on their defense. You got BYU in a neutral site. I think Notre Dame wins goes 1-2 against Clemson, BYU, and USC, and finishes 9-3. A good season with a tough schedule. I don't know if Notre Dame fans will accept that, but that's what I think happens. 8-8, Stool 22. Alec in Florida, go.
Hey, Brandon, love the show. I want to talk about FSU fans for a little bit and their delusion that Mike Norvell is still a competent coach. I mean, that pitch call on the one, giving out the 15-yard out of bounds out there.
Can I stop you there? I'm fine with this. I don't mind. I like that you brought that up because I like disagreeing with people respectfully because that's who I am. Everybody in the world has freaked out about that pitch call on the one, okay? Folks, that's a simple toss play that you can run in your sleep. You can absolutely run in your sleep. If you practice that, there's no inherent risk with that. Now, it went bad this one time out of a million, and that sucks. It's bad. But I don't think the call itself led to that fumble. Like, yeah, it's a toss on the goal line to get him out wide a little bit. The call was fine. The execution was absolutely trash. Now, if you wanted to talk about his coaching and what his defensive staff did after that, going prevent for 99 yards, I'll have that conversation. But the call on the goal line was fine.
That's fine. I mean, but just looking at the other two Florida schools, you got Cristobal and you got Napier. Both of them look head and shoulders better than what FSU's got going. And if they're good with keeping him, that's fine with me. I'm a Gator, but
I'll give you that on Cristobal. I think the jury's still out on Napier, although he certainly passed his first test with flying fucking colors. And now he has an even bigger game this week. If he goes 2-0 against these two teams, I mean, Napier, the sky's the fucking limit. So we'll see. But yes, would I rather have Napier or Norvell? Napier all day long. So you're right about that. Why a bunch of shit emojis? Oh, drop a shit emoji for the coin boys. You guys are winners. Line 6, Trent in Oregon.
B-Walk, I want to talk to you about Oregon State football. I feel great today. I feel fantastic. The Ducks got blown out. I hate them. Thomas from Chicago can suck my nuts. The other Duck fan who called on. Oregon State has been on an upward trend for the last 3 years. The Ducks have been on a downward trend. I want to see where you think Oregon State, if they have a shot at the Pac-12 in the next couple of years, championship.
Maybe one of the quietest, decent teams in the country. I don't know if you guys saw it. They beat the fucking piss out of Boise State the other day, and this is not a bad Boise State team. Senior quarterback, good roster, and Oregon State just treated them like a redheaded stepchild. It was unbelievable what they did to them. Oregon State just quiet out there, and you look, Stanford's a little down, Cal's Cal, Washington State, nothing. Oregon looks like they're taking a big step back. Why not Oregon State for like a 10-win season? They're good. They're coached well. I like them. I like them a lot. And they're named the Beavers, which is another name for pussy. So, yeah. Team Pussy? Am I right? Yeah. So I don't have time for anything else. Thank you, Tanner, for calling. James for calling. Thank you, Nick, for calling. Andrew for calling. We got to get out of here. Chat. Dalton Barnett says, didn't realize a walrus worked at Barstool. Yikes, pal. Suck my dick, Dalton Barnett. Also, I can see your picture. You're fat too, sir. We shouldn't hate on each other. Do I got to get out of here now?
Yeah.
Yep. Show is over. Chat, I love you. Thank you. Tell your friends. Be back tomorrow.